We're going to use Firebase, a well-known backend as a service, to serve as our HTTP web API for this app. You can sign up to try Firebase for free, no credit card required, and it's easy to get started. A full review of Firebase is well beyond the scope of this course. In fact, Joe Eames has a couple of Firebase courses in the Pluralsight library. You can see the URLs here. And I strongly encourage you to watch those if you want to get more in-depth information on Firebase. Let's get our Firebase set up for our Elite Schedule app. Here I am in the Firebase console, and I want to create a new Firebase project. We'll give it the name Elite Schedule App, and then I2 for Ionic 2, and create project. And in seconds, the Firebase has been created. I'm going to click Database. Right now, my database is completely empty. Let's seed the entire database by importing a pre-made JSON file. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to open this in Explorer, and I'm going to copy and paste a JSON file right here called Elite Schedule Firebase Data.json into the root of my project. This is a JSON file I've already created with a whole bunch of data. We're going to import this into Firebase. I'm putting the file here in the root directory of my application, so you can access this file in the code download available for this course on the Pluralsight website. In addition, you can also grab the file from the GitHub repository I showed you in the first module of this course. Let's import it now. I'll come over here and I'll say import JSON. I'll browse to the file, and here it is right here. And we'll click import. And now we have a fully seeded database. I can see I have 4 tournaments here: Cager Classic, Holiday Hoops Challenge, and in fact, I have tournament data for each one. So the Cager Classic starts with this goode 3DD, and here it is down here, 3DD. So if I expand that, I can see all the games, all the locations, standings, teams, all the information for each tournament. I'm going to go to the Rules tab here, and I'm going to change the read property so that it just says read equals to true, which will enable essentially anonymous access. If I come over to the data, for example, let's look at the data right here for this tournament. I'm going to copy the URL. We can go to a tool like Postman, paste the URL here, and then I'm going to end with .json extension so that it returns it as JSON, not that HTML page. Click send, and here's all the JSON data that's coming back. One final note about the Firebase data here. I'm using Firebase purely as a convenience mechanism for a generic HTTP endpoint. I won't be using the Angular Firebase library, and I'm not necessarily even going to be following all the Firebase best practices. For example, you can see in this data, I'm using traditional arrays, which is not always a Firebase best practice. Again, to learn more about these aspects of Firebase, I encourage you to watch the Pluralsight courses I pointed out earlier. For this course, I'm just trying to have an HTTP endpoint in place that looks like the data you'd most commonly encounter for most web APIs.